While Canadians were in the thick of the COVID-19 pandemic, many say they were facing the added challenge of food insecurity. New numbers from Statistics Canada show nearly 1 in 5 Canadians report that they face some level of food insecurity in 2021 and early 2022, with about 5% of families worrying about running out of food and the same amount missing meals entirely. Analyst Sharon Jeep Opal says it wasn't just Canadians in poverty either.
It's not just living below the poverty line that you are at risk, but even if you're above the poverty line, you can still experience food insecurity.
The study found while 11% of families had incomes below the poverty line, 8 in 10 families facing food insecurity were above that line. But food insecurity researcher Valerie Tarasuk says those numbers may signal a problem with the poverty line itself.
If such a high proportion of them are reporting, significant food hardships, then I think maybe there's something that we need to talk about with the line.
Regardless of income, the numbers show single mothers, Indigenous and racialized families were among the hardest hit.
What it should be is a wake-up call.
For mothers, 48% of those below that poverty line and 40% above struggled with food insecurity, while nearly 1 in 3 Indigenous families sitting above that rate and 21% of racialized families saw food issues. Food insecurity expert Eric Lee says conversations need to happen on how to help these families.
I think that would be some of the continued conversations about how to supporting these particular populations to make sure they can maintain the quality of life and maintain the nutrition and the food security for their families.
When Canadians face this kind of insecurity, food banks are sometimes where they turn, but many say they're reaching their limit. Joanna Windsor with Food Banks Mississauga says bigger action needs to be taken.
Anything from being able to advocate for larger systemic change is what's going to help pull people out of poverty and reduce food insecurity.
Even as food inflation eases this year, the cost of living could still leave many struggling as Canadians continue to face down how to afford that next meal. Sean Previl, Global News.